Alright, what's up guys? It's part 3, or at least chapter 3 of Poppy Playtime. So in the last episode, we faced Mommy Longlegs. And now, chapter 3, I don't know what it is, but it's a cat. I think it's a cat. It's very creepy looking. But right now it says chapter 3, Deep Sleep. And let's just dive right into it. Let's go.
What's the time?
Playtime!
Yay! Poppy Playtime.
S-M-I-L-E every day! We do it down and out.
Round and round.
Smiley critters in the sun. S-M-I-L-E every day!
Smiling critters. Aight.
The wind's really scary. I can't sleep.
Hey, we'll be okay, guys. I promise. All winds blow away. Eventually.
Whoa, everyone's super scared of the dark, I guess, or like at least outside.
Catnap!
Please, help us go to sleep, Catnap.
We need it, Catnap! Help us! Sleep, sleep, sleep!
What the heck? Something's not right. What?
Everyone
Something
knows Huggy Wuggy and Poppy
is
Playtime.
not right.
But are your children safe from Playtime Co.'s latest toy? Yet both now face the fire sparked by the inclusion of one key member. This is Catnap. And like the others of his line, you just pull his little tail and seems innocent enough. However, parents across the country report their children experiencing strange and often violent nightmares. And beside them, their little, grinning Catnap doll.
What the
Now,
heck?
with controversy growing, Playtime Co. has announced the recall of all Catnap toys from the Smiling Critters line. His image cleared from all promotional material. But damage already done, will disappearing be that easy? The exact cause of these incidents still
These
unknown.
smiling critters are
Only
not
one
cute,
thing
man.
appears glaringly certain.
Creepy.
Your children are not safe with Catnap.
We're not safe with Catnap. Okay. So Catnap is gonna be this chapter's boss, I guess. Catnap? Okay. What the heck is this POV? The quality looks so much better than the last chapter too. They keep upgrading. What the heck? That was me! We have to find a way out, find a way out, find a way out. It's been so long since I've played this game. Oh my gosh. What is this? Where am I supposed to go here? Wow, pull myself. Wow, the quality is crazy good. Where am I supposed to pull myself? Oh, I see, I see, I see. I'm not liking the sounds. Okay, definitely this way. The game feels so much smoother than the last chapter. The quality is just... Whoa, hey, that's the bunny that tried to eat us last game. What? Is this blood? Oh wait, I came out of here, so I guess... Oh. There you go. What are these sounds? Whoa. Well, why is there a saving animation? You know, that means that a bad guy's about to pop up. That means... What the heck? What the heck? That was the cat, bro.
Bruh.
Ah! Wait, I didn't know that it just goes back. Okay, the game feels super smooth though. Alright. Yeah, we don't like that. Guys, this is like the most simple controls. I'm just not getting it. I don't like the sound of this. It's a bit quiet. It's a bit quiet. Wait, where's it supposed to go? What? Am I not supposed to go up here? Why am I always stuck in like I feel like I shouldn't be stuck here, but I am always stuck. And was I not supposed to fall there? I was just supposed to hit it with my hand? Oh wait, what? Place a battery in the socket to supply power. Okay.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to.
Wait, this is where he threw us out.
We'll provide the very best. It was colorless.
Oh wait. Oh, I'm just supposed to pick it up with my hand.
And the movements, they were wild.
And there's another one?
Flailing like chickens. I wanted to talk to her. See how she's doing. I really need your voice right now.
Is that a phone? What the heck? Okay.
Hey, can you hear me? You look kind of lost. I don't want you to die, so I'm gonna help you. Check this out.
What?
The tube thing on the back wall. Ready? Boom! You can use that battery to open the door.
What? Who are you? Why did I just pick up a phone call and answer that? Okay. I guess you're helping me. Alright. Oh, it's dark.
Whoa! Did you do that? I guess that's where Catnap found you.
That's the train that we took.
I know you're probably mad at Poppy for not letting you escape.
Yeah, I'm really mad.
She needs you. We need you.
What do you mean, we? Who are you?
Together, we can save a lot of people, including you.
I don't need saving.
Straight ahead. It's the home of Catnap, one of the smiling critters. There used to be 8 of them, I think. Now it's just him. Playcare is his church, his hunting ground.
Church?
Whatever he wants it to be. You better get moving quickly. We'll keep in touch.
Bro, what do you
Oh,
mean?
and by the way, my name is Ali. Nice to meet you.
Okay, Ollie, nice to meet you. What do you mean by church and hunting ground? I don't even think this guy wants to eat us because he already played with us. Like, he had us in his hand and he found us. If he wanted to eat us, I think he would have done that, right? Wait, what? While touching the power switch. Huh? Whoa. What? Oh, grab the handle. Whoa. I feel like later, when we're in a chase and we have to do that, I'm like screwed. Okay, I don't know what's happening. I think we're going deeper. Cause look, this looks like it's going deeper in.
Hello, my name is Elliot Ludwig. When you look around at the world today, what one thing do you think it needs more of?
I don't know what it needs more of it, but it needs to get me out of here. What?
Something simple. You see,
Hello?
not one of them.
Is this a whole cave under Poppy Playtime? What is
A
this?
smile is hope. A smile
This is literally.
a smile is understanding.
How is this
And there
under a
nothing
company?
more gratifying to my
Why are we
smile.
going in there, man?
These children deserve to smile. They deserve
Ooh,
to love.
it's red
They deserve
and it's
a
foggy.
safe home. That
And
is why it is with enormous pleasure that as the founder of Playtime Co., I announce Playcare, our very own on-site orphanage.
they're trying to make their own world. That's crazy.
Inspiration and smiles to all who enter these doors.
This is like. What do I pick up?
It's me again, Ollie. Cool place, right?
Not cool.
The kids used to live
This guy
here.
was scary. What?
Now look at it.
Yeah, look at it now. It's
Do you
creepy.
see that statue in the middle of the room? Take the stairs that go under it. There's a really cool room in there that powers literally all of Playcare. I can give you a key down there.
Why are we trying to power all of the Playcare? Oh, he just gave me
So, you got the key. Now the question you're probably asking yourself is, where does it go?
Yeah.
Well, head back out, and you should find a door just to the left of the cable car you took down here.
Ooh, I don't know. It's not scary yet. It's not scary yet, but it's like. It's very eerie. Like, there's no jump scares yet, but the vibes are very, I don't know. Like, this definitely got some jump scare vibes going on. Like, a loading page means we about to die soon.
Welcome to the gas production zone, the beating heart of the whole evil Playcare system. All that gas you see coming from the machine is made right here in the factory.
This place
It's
is
called
huge.
the red smoke.
The
Right
red
now,
smoke.
it's all headed off to the right. We need to make that red smoke go left instead. That's how we can get to him. The machine will probably have a few dumb safeguards for you
There's
to work
so
around,
many.
but I think you can do it. I'll call you once it's done.
Wow, there's so many little, like, okay, we found a power bank. Okay, so if we open this, it's supposed to help us get to the blue one. There's a, the VCR. Maybe. Playtime! GrabPack 2.0. Oh, we're getting an upgrade. Extended wire length. Okay, that's fire. Swapping hands. Ooh, so I can get like different power-ups that I want or need. Has jetpacks. Has air jets. So it's supposed to be like a jetpack, right? To break long falls. Oh, so I don't take fall damage. But watch where you land. Why are those even set up in the first place? Hello? Why are these not so safe things? Ooh, I like the design of this purple one. Alright, so this is... It's like a jump thing. Okay. Oh, so it's like a little jumper, huh? Can you only do it with that? Yeah, okay. You can only use it when you have the pad underneath. I see. Wait, what's the point of going there? Can I even make it? Oh, I can. Okay. Whew! Oh my goodness, what is this, man? It seems very unsafe. Ooh, wait. Is that what you're supposed to do? Hey, fire. Okay. Wait, that's fine though. That's what I'm trying to hit, am I not? Alright, so that's the power source. Right. Yes, sir. Oh, I see. There's another part to this. Okay. Okay, that's the sound I wanted to hear. That's the sound of, you know, you did it.
Oh no! Someone killed the power. Okay, I sent you another key. It's under the statue. Use it to get into Home Sweet Home. Then once you're inside, find the building's backup generator. Good luck!
Oh, sent me another key. This game is stressing me out, bro. So I have to go back down. Okay. So it says, yeah, I have to go to Home Sweet Home. So they lit it up for us to just show us that this is the way. I don't like how there's like no backup music. Like if there's like some background music, at least it would like be less scary. You know? Why is there red smoke? Okay. What happens if we go in it? Okay, my hands are gone though. This hallway is a bit too long for just a home. Alright, maybe this is like a fear gas, you know? Okay. This game is definitely upgraded. I think we just kind of walk until something pops up, right? Or just we take this phone.
You need to run.
Where? The heck? That cat was just chilling there, bro. I'm ignoring you. I'm knowing everything. Are we supposed to go straight? We just saw him walk there. I don't like this. I don't like this.
Get up. Get up.
Alright, it's a dream, because I'm saying get up, and we're following this cat's tail. Right. Oh! We're nearing the end, I think. Finally, a door's open. Alright, so this just says, happy and fun way was it done. Okay.
Greetings, employees, and welcome to your first day here in Playtime. We're certain that in the days to come, you'll find your new family here every bit as loving and supportive as your own. Now, every one of you has your part in that future, so should you come back tomorrow feeling unhappy for where you are or what you've done,
What I've
worry
done?
not, for your supervisor is here and happy to listen.
What the heck?
And should you come back years later, your conscience finally getting the better of you, may you descend into the dark and the dust, finding all that awaits you are incomprehensible horrors. Welcome.
What the heck?
Or perhaps they won't allow you such time to figure your place in the world you'd left. A world that's theirs now. Welcome home.
What the? I'm not looking. I'm not looking. I'm not looking. I'm not looking. Oh no. Oh. Why did the hallway disappear? What happened? What? Oh, that was a dream. What? I can't believe they made toys that dangerous for kids. I know that we shouldn't be smoking this. We should not be breathing this in. What was the point of that then? What? See, if I fall down, what's... Mask! It says press F. Okay. Is it open? Deal. My gosh, we're out of here. Home sweet home. Alright. Now we see to power this generator. I'm gonna make sure there's no cat coming to attack me. You know, one thing I don't understand is why hasn't the cat killed us? You know, I understand the motive of Mommy Longlegs, because she... What the? Oh my goodness.
This place makes her tense. I'm glad that Ollie could help you get this far. He's the reason we found you at all.
Whoa, what's happening? We're friends?
The train crash hurt us both. You've been through so much.
I can't leave because of you.
You deserve an explanation.
Yeah, you explain yourself. Oh my goodness.
Hey, you'll be okay. We'll be okay.
What about me? Whoa, what's happening? What'd you turn on? Oh, okay. I feel safe with you. I feel like the cat can't get us if I got this.
I'm
know.
not your enemy, but I can't just let you leave. What's happening down here is bigger than all of us. And I need you.
Okay.
So we can get revenge on those monsters who've tortured you. Who've tortured us.
Tortured me? I don't even know who I am.
Disciples of the original prototype. Do the honors?
Oh yeah, a big shiny red button. Yes, please. Oh, why is she you good? Oh, you're just waiting for me. Okay.
Prototype knows we're coming by now. You try to escape, he'll kill you before you ever reach that front door. He's the reason I was trapped in that god-awful case for so long. You have no idea the things he's done. Let me help you kill him. Let me help you save everyone.
Whoa.
Ball seen you. How capable
we're gonna-
you are. You killed Huggy.
I didn't.
You killed Mommy. You freed me. You are perfect for this.
I didn't want to kill them. I was trying
He's
to
the final obstacle the prototype has placed against us.
survival, you know.
Can't stay here. Keep yourself safe. Ollie will call you.
Why can't I just stay with you? That's like the safest thing, I swear. Where am I supposed to go now? I don't remember. Was it supposed to go down again?
Hey, it's me again. It seems like Poppy explained everything now, and she turned on the dome's backup power. Now the plan from here is pretty simple. We need to restore power to the gas production zone. First, go back to the Home Sweet Home building you were just in. You should be able to find a big power cord somewhere around the porch. Grab it and plug it in underneath the statue.
That's it? That did not look like a cable. Alright. Ollie does not sound like a human. The voice is kind of iffy. His voice sounds very animated. A normal kid will not talk like that. Oh.
Awesome! Look at that!
That's right.
Remember that generator you turned on inside of Home Sweet Home? Well, that was a backup generator for just that building. And every building should have one. We're already halfway done.
Halfway?
We're
Only 50% done, and I had so much trouble with that. Okay, let's go to the school. This is a school, huh? At least this building looks a lot smaller than that. Yeah, okay. This place seems very chill so far. Very chill vibes. Not anymore.
Okay, make this quick. Turn on the generator, leave, and plug the school's power cord into the center. Be careful in there. I don't think I can connect to you on that side of the dome. And you won't be alone. There's someone else in there too. They're not yours.
What? Someone else in here? Someone else in here, bro.
This is Mr. Light speaking. Please excuse the interruption. Students, remain in your seat until the bell has rung. And no going in the halls without a hall pass.
Okay, we gotta open this somehow. This game gives me anxiety, bro. This game just gives me so much stress. It's a bit too quiet.
Wait, I recognize you. Yes, I remember. You used to work here. How are you? Alive. Huh? Barb? Oh. Barb says you're looking for your co-workers. Catnap wouldn't like that you're here. You should leave. For your own safety.
I want to leave too. How are you watching me? With never mind. The jump scares. I feel it. Okay. Well. Okay. Well. Guys, this game, I can't jump over it. I gotta find a power source. Okay, I gotta keep getting used to looking up because I never look up. It's looking a bit dark here. I always say something that something's gonna come out in the vents, but nothing ever really does. So. What? He.
Not a good listener, are you? You're a lot like the other humans in that way. I wonder if your screams will sound like theirs too. I look forward to finding out.
What? You're not finding out anything. I'm not letting you. Where?
Hello, students. Did you know that there are 60,000 miles of blood vessels in the human body?
Okay, why?
For comparison, the Earth around the equator is almost 25.
Why do you know that? Alright, we gotta generate this, right? Like we always do. Trying to. Woo! Yeah, you stay there. You stay there. You stay there. Hell no. Woo! Uh-oh. Whoa, I was staring at you. Don't you go moving. Oh! 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 Oh, hell no. Yeah, you come here, come here, come here, come here. Come here. You think I'm playing with you? Whoa, you moving a bit faster, honey. What? Oh, this game is messing me up, man. Ah, I feel like I got pretty far, decently far, right? If I have to start from the beginning. Yeah, okay. Come here, come here. I got you. You is not catching me. You're not gonna catch me. Okay. Woo! 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 Whoa! Okay. You moving a bit fast, huh? Whoa. Whew. I'm faster. Whatever you want. I want nothing to do with it. Woo! Chill. Whoa! There you go. That's right. You're done for. Bye. Chill out. I'm out. Ooh. Get owned! Oh my gosh. My eyes are so dry because I was just focused. Oh my gosh. Get out of here, Miss. I don't even know what your name is, but you scary, bro. Yes. I hop into the moon with you. I'm just glad that that's over. That was so stressful. It says there's a... Oh, there you go. Whoa. What is this? What is this? Oh. It's a flare. Okay. Oh. Oh. I pressed the wrong hand. I'm just gonna play a bit more and then we'll see how far we can get in because this chapter is very long and I want to try to get as much as I can before well, I don't know. I just don't want to make this video too long because there wasn't too much I did. Just did a bunch of puzzles and I feel like there won't be a lot for you guys to watch, but this is a work area apparently. Whee! Alright. No, it's kind of weird that we haven't really seen too much of Catnap trying to attack us, you know. I don't know, just getting the generators back running. What is that? What is that? Okay. What? Let's just get out of here, man. Let's see how far we can get. What the? Hi, little boy. Hi, little boy. What? Oh man, bro. Oh. How many things are out to get me? Ugh! Alright, you know what? I don't think I'm gonna be able to get through all of this in time. So let's just cut it here. I feel like I didn't have that much commentary for you guys, which I feel really bad for. I was just super focused and I was just really confused. We'll see if I can make a part 2 for chapter 3. And hopefully we can finish the game when we do part 2. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. This one was definitely just a lot more confusing than the last one because it was very straightforward with what I had to do. This one I'm just confuzzled, but also this game's a lot longer and the maps are really big, so I'll try and finish it in part 2. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope you guys had fun. The last bit with that teacher, that one actually was scary. And we'll see you guys in the next one, okay? Thank you guys so much. Peace out. Love y'all. Bye. Boom.